Hi, my name is Danielle, and this is Nurtured Seed Homestead.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what
We moved to Virginia in the beginning of 2020. My husband got a job there, and I was so excited to have a yard to be able to garden in. Up until this point, I had only been doing gardening in pots and containers on our apartment balconies. I chose to garden even though we just had a small balcony so that I could gain knowledge and learn things each year as I grew, and I was really glad that I did. I feel like if I would have waited to try any sort of gardening until we had an actual plot of land, then once I had that land, I wouldn't have had as much knowledge.
This is our Virginia garden in its third year. It took time to get it looking like this. In January, I scraped up all the grass, creating the base for our garden plot. We ordered free wood chips from a company called Chip Drop. They gave us a ton. We also ordered some soil to add to the garden rows. The native soil was very dense with poor drainage. This would amend the soil and allow excess water to drain off the garden beds. I also started seeds that spring. I started more seeds than ever that year. I also think I started them too early, but it all worked out. I planted strawberries this year and ended up moving them to a different area of the garden. I also had to plant them in the rain. We love getting our kids involved in the garden, and they love it too. Sometimes things take a little bit longer than normal, but that's okay.
I wanted to bring animals onto our property, but quickly realized that that was not going to happen in the neighborhood we lived in. And in fact, it wasn't going to happen really anywhere near where we were living. And that got our minds thinking about potentially moving. But after a lot of thought, we decided that moving to somewhere with a larger property and the ability to have animals was what would be best for our family. So we bought some land out west and began to prepare our home and our family for moving out there.
We decided to raise money to help us pay for our move by watching dogs. It was great, except for they got in my garden. So my sweet husband drove around town gathering free pallets to help make a free makeshift fence temporarily to protect our garden. It worked out great. Even though we were going to move, building this fence was worth it. I knew there was more we could learn from this garden. We planted cover crops for the first time this year. We also learned how to do seed starting using soil blocks. The kids are helping me here prepare the soil blocks, and we were converted. This is by far my favorite way to start seeds, and I'll probably do a video later on our simple method of using soil blocks. Now we see the garden weeks before our move. I would walk out with the kids each day and observe the plants in detail. I find this part of gardening very therapeutic, and the kids like it too. It was hard to see the garden in its prime, just as we were going to leave. This was our first real raspberry harvest. The strawberries were coming in full force. The tomatoes were growing, and we had some sweet peppers starting to form. I mastered growing zinnias this year and basil, and they were just starting to bloom and look so beautiful. I also harvested our garlic a little bit early this year. I just couldn't let it go. It was almost done, so we decided to pick it all and dry it out and bring it along with us on our move. now, the final walkthrough of our Virginia garden. Someone might say that's a lot of work just for a garden. But it's more than a garden. It's a lifestyle. It's how I want to raise my kids. It's my therapy. Another adventure awaits us. We have years of work ahead of us, and I am so excited about it. Escape the world with us as we build our house, create our garden, and raise animals on our 1 acre plot of land.